If you've navigated life for over 5 decades, you've likely encountered some variation of this deceptive notion. Your most vibrant years are now behind you. You perceive it when younger colleagues at work cease to solicit your perspective. You discern it in the tone of your physician, whose discourse leans more towards managing inevitable decline than cultivating enduring vitality. You witness it when women who once might have offered a glance now pass by without acknowledgement. It ignites a fire of frustration within you, yet, as perhaps expected, you suppress it. But here is the unvarnished truth: your journey is far from concluded. In fact, you are finally formidable. This is because, arguably for the first time in your existence, you possess the reservoir of hard-won experience, the invaluable lessons gleaned from trials, the indelible scars that tell your story, and the profound insight that only time can bestow. Crucially, you have finally depleted your reserves of time to squander. This is not merely a pep talk, it is a clarion call to action. Not a summons to wage war against the external world, but an imperative to embrace and embody your ultimate, most authentic self. While contemporary society often venerates ephemeral youth, the enduring philosophy of Stoicism imparts a far deeper wisdom. The more seasoned you become, the more indomitable your inner core must grow. So, let us delve into the practical manifestation of this truth, what it genuinely looks like in the tangible realm of existence. Not abstract theory or detached philosophy clad in ceremonial robes, but real-life sagacity for men who unequivocally refuse to fade into silence. Let us commence this exploration. Consider, for instance, the profound advantage inherent in the power of stillness. While younger individuals often pursue relentlessly after everything: financial gain, romantic connection, external validation, fleeting status symbols, louder voices, social media affirmation, a relentless pursuit that can feel like turmoil masquerading as ambition, a man of advanced years cultivates the subtle art of stillness. Stillness, it is crucial to understand, is not synonymous with passivity. It is a form of deliberate, controlled power. It stems from the deep-seated knowledge that 90% of what most people frantically chase holds little genuine significance, and the remaining 10%, true fulfillment, inner peace, authentic connection, is beyond monetary acquisition. When you are still, you cease the wasteful expenditure of vital energy attempting to mend everyone around you, striving to impress casual acquaintances, or yearning desperately for universal approval. You transition from a state of mere reaction to one of impactful presence, or gravitas. Observe an older lion in its natural habitat. It does not engage in frantic pursuits. It waits. It understands precisely the opportune moment to exert force and when it is wisest to remain motionless and observant. As a man over 50, you possess the same latent potential. You have no obligation to be the most vociferous presence in a room. Your strength resides in embodying the bearing of one who has confronted mortality and did not recoil. Stillness transforms into your magnetic force. It attracts people because they sense something substantial and anchored within you, the essence of a man who has navigated and conquered his internal struggles to arrive at an unyielding strength of character. Let the external world label it formidable if it must. There arrives a pivotal juncture in every man's life where he either shrinks to accommodate the shifting contours of the modern world or stands as an immutable force, a mountain around which others learn to navigate. You are not required to exhibit docility for anyone. You do not owe political correctness or appeasement to individuals who have not experienced a single day of your complex journey. Contemporary culture, in its evolving dynamics, often appears to demand that older men apologize for embodying masculinity, for being candid, for upholding rigorous principles, for refusing to bend to every ephemeral wave of emotion. Yet, paradoxically, your unapologetic energy, your commanding aura, is precisely what an increasingly yielding society requires. You need not raise your voice. You need not engage in futile arguments. Your strength lies simply in existing without folding under pressure. Begin to assert your presence again. Sit with your legs comfortably apart, communicating deliberately and clearly. Maintain direct gaze during conversation until the other person averts their eyes. You are not being unkind. You are not being toxic. You are simply being masculine. And in the current environment, this is a scarce quality, which renders it inherently precious. Do not suppress your authentic self to make others feel safer or more comfortable. Stand tall in your being. They will adapt. This echoes the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control, your character, your bearing, your integrity, and being indifferent to external opinions or judgments, ad aphra. As Emperor Marcus Aurelius advised in his Meditations, do not disturb yourself by picturing your life as a whole. Do not let all the sufferings which have generally befallen you, and which will befall you, in imagination at once disturb you, but in every given instance ask yourself, what is there in this that is intolerable and past bearing? Your unwavering presence is a testament to this inner fortitude. A crucial element in this phase is restoring self-governance or reclaiming discipline. The conventional narrative often posits that men reach their zenith in their 30s. This is fundamentally inaccurate. A man's peak occurs whenever he makes the conscious decision to achieve self-mastery. Your 60s, or even beyond, can unequivocally represent your prime, but this is contingent upon your return to the bedrock of discipline. Discipline here is not merely about adherence to rigid military-style routines, it is about cultivating dignity and integrity in your daily existence. Commence your day by engaging in physical activity. Nourish your body as if your future vitality depends upon it, because it absolutely does. Cease relinquishing your intellectual autonomy to sensationalist news cycles or facile sources of fleeting gratification. Institute a morning ritual centered on tranquility, perhaps reflective writing, a contemplative stroll, or a bracing ablution like a cold shower. This is not about conforming to current trends, it is born from the realization that your time is now your most valuable resource, your currency. It must be allocated judiciously. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca observed in his letters to Lucilius, nothing is ours, except time. Only time is a slippery and elastic thing. To reclaim your vigor, cultivate physical resilience through consistent training. To foster clarity, cease absorbing frivolous content and instead dedicate yourself to constructing your intellectual edifice, your internal citadel of thought. The older you become, the more profoundly your deeds resonate, leaving an enduring echo. You are no longer merely living, you are actively leaving behind a blueprint. Strive to ensure it is a robust and worthy one. The Stoics viewed virtue, including temperance and self-control, as the sole good and sufficient for happiness, emphasizing that true freedom comes from mastering oneself, not external circumstances. Epictetus, in his discourses, taught that training the will and desires is paramount. Turning now to navigating relationships, often framed as the woman question. You might observe a distinct shift after 50. The act of pursuing others loses its allure. The accompanying games become tedious. Your desire is no longer primarily to captivate or impress, but rather to encounter reciprocal connection, to be truly met. And here lies an intriguing contradiction. the very moment you cease to chase romantic prospects is often the precise juncture when you begin to draw quality companions into your orbit. Not the superficial types or those seeking status or material benefactors, but that exceptional individual who perceives your composed strength, your quiet power, and gravitates towards it. This phenomenon only occurs when you detach your sense of self-worth from external validation. Women are often drawn to centered, self-contained men, individuals who do not require their approval to feel complete, men who are inherently whole within themselves. This aligns with the Stoic concept of autarkia, or self-sufficiency, derived from living a virtuous life. A man grounded in virtue is less dependent on external factors, including the opinions or presence of others, for his happiness. Therefore, relinquish the futile attempt to appear younger. Abandon the inclination to dress as if you are still 25. Embrace your silvering hair. Carry your experience with dignity. Articulate with depth and authority, speaking from the chest, not the throat. There is arguably nothing more compelling than a man who possesses the bearing of someone who is already inherently sufficient, complete unto himself. You are not invisible. You have simply arrived at a stage where you have the power to dictate your interactions and choose what you genuinely wish to see and engage with. Finally, consider the activation of legacy mode. This concluding chapter is not an endpoint, it is the phase where every action, every interaction, holds profound significance. The conversations you engage in, the manner in which you mentor younger generations around you, the model you provide even when unobserved, these elements form the tapestry of your enduring impact. Most individuals define their remembrance through professional achievements, job titles, or material possessions. But true heritage resides in the influence you exerted, particularly when no one expected it. What knowledge did you impart? What did you permit or endure? Whom did you safeguard? More fundamentally, who did you become through the crucible of life? Your legacy is not a memorial inscription etched in stone, it is the transformation you inspired in the lives of those who encountered your influence. Begin living, therefore, as the person whose character and wisdom will be eulogized at your funeral. Be the one whose name is referenced when younger men pose the fundamental question, who guided your development into manhood? Let the answer unequivocally be you. You are not beyond your peak capacity. You are entering an era of formidable influence, where your composure possesses a deeper impact than any tumult, where your bearing carries more weight than any ostentatious display. But this potential is realized only if you assert ownership of it. If this resonates deeply within you, if these words have rekindled an awareness of the strength you may have overlooked, express this conviction. Let us collectively ignite a passion within the seasoned cohort of men, for we do not require more superficial clamor. We require men who move through the world with intentionality, who communicate with substance, and who lead lives of enduring significance. If you are finished being patronized or dismissed, commit to this path. And always remember this truth: age does not diminish your capabilities, it refines your essence.